All right, everybody, we've got a new preview for Minecraft Bedrock. This isn't out on Java yet, but I still thought we'd take a look at it because it has some cool stuff. Mostly updates with the Pale Garden, so let's take a look around. There's some new flowers that you'll notice if you generate a new Pale Garden. They're called eyeblossoms, and this one's a closed eye blossom, and that's because they have two phases. So during the day, they're kind of underwhelming, gray, and closed up, but if we set it to nighttime, then all of a sudden they'll start to slowly open, and they don't do it all at once. They kind of, there we go, there's one opening. They kind of work their way to it one at a time. Another one just opened, but they communicate to each other according to the update log. So if you have one that opens up in close proximity to one that's closed, then it should accelerate that reaction happening so that this one will open up sooner, although it never will because I'm looking straight at it. Obviously. A watched pot never boils. There we go. A watched pot does boil sometimes, I suppose. And then the same holds true when it switches back to daytime. They will slowly close, and over the course of it seems to take quite a while as I was watching them. So that's one new thing. They look pretty cool though. Yeah, and they also, like, you can see them even if it's dark. Kind of glow squid like, but it adds some good ambiance to the Pale Garden. As you can see, it's like glowing through the darkness over there. It doesn't emit light, but it's also visible in the dark. Again, like the glow squid, but I like these. These are cool. Also probably worth mentioning is the eye blossoms exist as items in both states, so you can, depending upon when you break it, have a closed or an open eye blossom, and they actually craft differently depending upon which state. So the open ones, they craft into orange dye. The closed ones craft into gray dye. Also, don't feed them to bees. The bees will get poisoned, ironically. I thought bees would be immune to poison, but I guess not. Okay, so there's been some new functionality added to the creaking. I'm gonna go see if we can find, there was this guy over here. I think I saw him wandering around. Where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, right here. He's camouflaging inside of the vines. All right, I placed one down over in the next to the house. Oh, is he? He's just gone very long range. Okay, so I'm hitting the creaking, which is obviously doing nothing to damage the creaking, except you know how there's these orange particles and gray particles that go back and forth when you do that. Well, if we head on over here, I don't know if you caught the before and after, but these orange specks were not on the tree prior, right? It was just the pale logs beforehand. Now that I've punched him a bunch, we have all of these resin specks that have appeared on the logs. So if we go into survival and we actually punch these, you don't need to do it with an axe. It's not like stripping. You can just punch it with a bare fist and it drops immediately. It doesn't have like any breaking or anything like that. You get a brand new item called a resin clump. And so if we come back over, revisit our creaky boy over here, it's really cool because obviously when you're facing him, he doesn't move towards you, he doesn't attack you or anything like that. Probably more effective to just use your fist. But you can just punch the guy nonstop. He will proceed to follow me probably now that I'm running back in survival. But now we've got more resin clumps. So you can actually like farm this up, right? If you just punch him a few times, then you'll have to tank some hits. But you can basically just farm up these clumps and you're like, oh, that's the significance. Why do I want these resin clumps? Well, that's because you can actually make new blocks from them, and who knows, maybe they'll add even more functionality in the future. I'm sorry to do this to you, but say you're done with your resin farm. Well, you can break the creaking heart. R.I.P. They added a little new animation there. I don't know if that was in this preview or before, but kind of had a reaction to that. Anyway, upon breaking the creaking heart, it will also drop resin that I think I might have already just collected, assuming you're not silk touching it. Here we go. Now you're seeing some of the resin blocks in our cute little house that we built inside of the Pale Garden. So we can take these resin clumps and we can craft them into a block of resin, if we want to do that. And then, further from there, if we take the block of resin and we take a few pale oak logs, we can craft it like so. And you can actually make yourself a brand new creaking heart. So if we felt bad about what we just did there, then we could, in theory, just rebuild, right? By putting it in there, make sure it's sandwiched between the top and bottom pale logs, and the creaking is back. And then you can farm more resin that way if you want to. So you can set it up in a more controlled environment as well. Whatever floats your goat. On top of that, if you take the resin clumps, you can actually smelt them, and then they will turn into resin bricks, which kind of looks like a brand new ingot, but it's not. But these resin bricks on their own, you can't make resin tools out of them, at least not yet, but here's the resin brick having come out of the furnace. But we'll take these resin bricks, and what we can do is we can craft them into a resin brick block, which can then, as you would expect, be put into the stone cutter if you'd like, and brought into different varieties: the chiseled resin bricks, the slabs, the stairs, and the walls. So the only thing I currently haven't put down is the stairs. Well, the slabs, but you're familiar enough with how slabs work. These are the walls. These are just the resin blocks made with the raw resin clump. And these are the resin bricks on the ground. As you can see, it's a very cool, contrasting orange texture. I think goes really well with the pale garden biome. Spam clicking on Bedrock. Also, just in time for Halloween, being able to pair this with, I saw a screenshot that was posted by Minecraft with deep slate combined with the new resin bricks and the pale wood, and just a really cool color palette for some kind of Halloween-y builds. But anyway, that's mostly what's new with the Pale Garden. Hopefully it'll be brought to Java soon enough. Eyeblossoms, resin, farming from the creakings, and pretty much it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video and stuff, and I'll see you later.